All right. This is one thing I want to hit on really hard that I don't know if I've hit on well, which is the word components. Not just the word, but what they represent. Components, components, components. Dallas mentioned this on Friday. So components are a core idea, a core concept in React and in most of these front-end UI frameworks. So the idea is that we make a user element piece, it's hard to not say component, and that thing is reusable. It takes in some input and then it renders in some way. And maybe it has a little bit of an interactive element that you can interact with the user. The idea here, which is throughout software engineering, is that we would like to make things that are complicated but self-contained. And therefore, we don't have to keep up with all the complexity all the time. So components are a way to achieve abstraction so that we don't get crushed by the complexity of our app. You see this default template from Expo has several built-in components. Some of them are really small and annoying. Some of them are like almost not even exactly web, not even UI components, but like this external link. All right, this is a little bit of a thing, but just like you can see it, all it is a link, but the thing that you're linking to is external to the app. Meaning you're not linking to another page in the app, you're linking to like a website that's outside. So because there is a different bit of complexity to jump to another app, to like open up your web browser and open up a page, they created this component named external link. It has a little bit of logic here. You see if the platform is web, then it has to do some other stuff, but otherwise it's going to do something different. So this little bit of logic that has to go around this, because I guess opening an external link on the web is a little bit different than if you're opening it from iOS or Android. That's all contained here. And so anytime we want to use an external link, which I think is on this edit info screen, let's see. Yeah, this guy. We don't have to have that logic. We could now use external links throughout the app. So that, just to show you a small complete example. Does that make sense? We want components to handle some reusable logic and reusable UI. Okay, that UI is really simple because it's just going to be text that's probably like blue colored, but it has a little bit of functionality, a little bit of code that has to run too, so that it works right everywhere. This edit screen info is another one where it's actually a whole like almost like a little sub screen. And if you were to look in the app that they have, you see this guy right here, this internal part. I can't select it. It's all of this. That is that component. And because they're essentially reusing, you see how it's like almost the exact same subscreen there? That's a component they're reusing. There's a little bit that's different. You see this line of text changes. So that is then going to be like a property that we pass into it. But for the most part, it's the same. Okay. So I would like to make this like progress bar component that I showed you up front. So, and I would like to make several of them. They're each independent. They may have a different progress amount. They're going to have like a different maybe title and label underneath. So different percent. And we've got two other bits of, we call them their properties, right? It's in their example, it was all like exercise related, so like number of steps. And then the subtitle or the label or the hint was like, you've taken 13,000 steps out of your goal of 15,000 or whatever, which that would be a lot of steps, right? Okay, so we're going to create a new component. And I'm going to call this thing, do you like progress row or progress bar? What would you call it? Progress bar.tsx, because we're using TypeScript. Progress bar. I like to spell it correctly. All right. If you have those, remember that React Native, ES7 React Native script snippet library installed, which we do, then you can do this thing where you type in RAFCE, and it creates, hang on, I already forgot the name of it, RAFCE. It creates a React arrow function export component, which is a mouthful just to say the short word. But you see this little snippet that it creates, and by default, it's going to name the component the thing that's in the progress bar. In my opinion, one thing I would ding, that is complain about React, is that the boilerplate is a lot. Like, that's a lot. All this here that I've just typed in is like a lot of text and a lot of logic, and I haven't done anything. Like, this is the baseline. You have to have this to make a component. So you need to create the thing, and then you need to export it so it can be used elsewhere. Because we're going to use this progress bar on one of those screens. But this is our component. I would like to be able to pass in properties here. So I'm going to develop this. So this is not going to work for a minute. I would like this object to have those three things that I said: a percent, a title, and a subtitle. Do those words make sense? Do you like title and label better? Naming things is important to me. What do you? So there was like, I should have taken this. In this progress bar, we have like one of these filled in a certain amount. I think percent. Steps. So this is like the title, and then down here. I don't know. Forgive my that. So I'm saying that's a thing that I call either label or subtitle. Thing that I want to call, and that's the thing that I present. So those are the 3 bits of input that I'm going to pass into this component. That 92% also will need to be translated into how far the bar is filled up. But we'll go ahead and put the number there too. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. So down here, somewhere on this, we're going to have the props dot title. We expect there to be a title property, property within this props. Y'all are so smart. So we really don't want this to be a div. This is the React way. There aren't divs in React Native. There are just views. We can still, or fragments, right? Can we still use fragments? But I think it will make it a view. Okay, so I've done this, but I didn't bring in view, so let's, hang on. Can you just fix it? Quick fix. Yes. I want to bring in view from React Native. Okay. And then probably down here, I want to have a text. And the text also from React Native might have the title there. I also expect there to be I think I like label better because to me it's not exactly a subtitle, but I could go either way. Izzy, you're the name queen. You had an opinion before. What do you think? Okay. Okay. Just to let's put this really rough here. I want to have another text that has the props dot percentage percentage. What's the difference between percent a percentage. Okay, hold on. This bothers me. It looks like I'm got things spaced weird. Okay, so by saying what I've got here, I am saying this props, whenever I use this progress bar, I'm expecting there to be a title, a percentage, and a label property passed in. So let me show you how you would use this. I'm going to come up. I'm actually up here. Let me make it from scratch. In my tabs folder, I'm going to right click, create a new file, and I'm going to call this dashboard because to me it is a dashboard. I'm going to make it on a whole third thing and not replace index. Not that I have anything on mine, but I don't know. I'm not exactly doing the same thing that's in your homework. Okay. Okay. So in this, I need another another component. I think I am really on this case because I'm making another screen kind of component. I think I would rather copy paste this screen and bring it to this screen and then change the name. So I want to call this the dashboard screen. I am not going to use this edit screen info, so I'm going to delete that. And but I am okay to leave in this this stuff. That I have a container and I have a. Actually, I don't know. That style separator is okay. So I'll leave those things in there and that style. So the idea here is I would like to bring in a progress bar here. That's my progress bar. I know it's my progress bar because you see over here it says @/components/progress bar. So that's the one from that I've defined. Progress bars I'm confident defined in many other UI libraries. When I do that one, it auto imports this at the top. Okay? And this can be like a self-closing element, but we know that this progress bar needs to pass in those three properties or it's not going to work. We're expecting those three properties. So I need to have a title equal to something. So this could be, in our example, steps. I need to have a label. And here, I'm going to hard code this now. You know, in real life, you might actually have this computed from data. We certainly would. And maybe we'll fix that later. Can you imagine? It could be the case that, oh no, I can't do that. That these numbers come out of some data. And I need that percentage as well. You'll notice as I'm typing this in, I get no autocomplete. The reason why is because hang on. It is 13 divided by 16, isn't it? 81.25. The reason why is because Visual Studio has no idea what kind of things this needs to have. But also we have a bug here. I mean, right, it's not compiling. And that's because you're exactly right. Yes, that's what I was building up to. So I definitely need these curlies because that's code. And now props implicitly has an any type. I haven't told it what kind of thing I'm going to pass in. And this is the TypeScript thing, where TypeScript says you must define all the types of all the things, and that means it has to know the shape. And by shape, I mean what are the properties, or the names of the things that are in it. So we're going to create a type for a progress bar props. So the this is the TypeScript way, where we're going to define, before this props here, what its shape is. And now what I want to do is I want to say that this thing, this props, is the data type, is of type progress bar props. Now I just need to define up here in progress bar props, what is the shape of this thing? And it has to have three things. It has to have a title, which is of data type string, comma. It needs to have a percentage, which is of data type number. Oh, I think this needs to be semicolons. Or do I not even need anything? What a time to be alive. Wow. And we need the label, which is label, which is also a string, I'm saying. So now I've said this is the kind of object that I'm going to take in. It needs to have this structure. So if over here, hang on. Well, now I actually get this nice benefit, which is I've said that percentage is a number, but what I passed in is a string. Wait. What am I doing wrong? Oh. Yes. So I want to actually give this thing just a number. It bothers me that I'm doing this. I think I'm already bothered too much by this. Let's just fix this. So let's say up here we have let me const steps equals 1300 and const steps goal, maybe let's call it steps current is 1600. 1600 is way too small, isn't it? What's a reasonable number of steps per day? Anyone? Anyone track steps? You're healthy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be 8,642. Huh. That's just a random number. It just happens to be 8,642 out of 10,000. So, all right, this is what I'm going for. So now I want to make this 8,642. And I'm going to make this 10K. And now in this label amount here, let's do math, yeah? So I want this to be steps. Hang on. Do I have to have another one of these? Steps current space divided by, and then $ curly steps goal. You with me? I'm creating this string dynamically. Now it's code. I can't put backticks in JSX unless they're in curlies because I'm in code mode. And then over here, this percentage should now be the result of just doing that math, which is steps current. Actually do the division. Steps goal. Why is it mad at me? But this should be a number, not a... I don't need to do I need to do that? Oh, thank you. Because we're already in code mode and I'm just trying to generate a number. Thank you. Yep. So if we're expecting a number between 0 and 100 to come in, then we need to multiply this by 100. And I guess that's what I want to do. Really, we should probably in here have some logic that says if you get a number between 0 and 1, maybe multiply by 100. I don't know. But then maybe they actually meant it to be between 0 and 1. So maybe then in that case, we just got to know. All right, this actually now I want a percent sign outside this. Okay. Is this going to work? Oh, yeah, this works. So, so I should have been checking that the whole time. So we have jumped through our hoops to make to pass in the data from dashboard to this. Yeah? And note, if we want to, we can make another one of these. Only in this one, let's just add some random, I don't know. What am I doing wrong here? That is not right. Three, four, two. I must be making some dumb mistake. I know. Why is that percentage so big? More parentheses, order of operations. Thank you, Dylan. Okay, so that brings it up to 89. I just wanted to show you, and I did it very poorly. This guy is separate from this guy. You see me? I'm passing in two different things. Okay. So another thing that I would want to do in here is create styles for the progress bar, right? Oh, I need an equal sign there, I think. And I probably need to bring this in. Did it? I need to bring in my style sheet object to make that work. And let me see if I can get in some basic styles for this. Let's see. Really, I want the if I want to make what I had there, you like that okay? Then I need there to be a view here that is like a row. So I'm going to say row, have a row style, and I want the flex direction to be row. Hang on, can we go ahead and connect this? So this guy and this guy, what did I do? These two things need to be in this view. And this view this outer view is going to say style equal curly styles dot row. Yeah, so that puts them in a row. And then I probably also want this to have a justify content of space between, because then there's just two things, right? I have something wrong. Flux. Oh, that's right. Width 100%, spacing those. And I don't. This font sizing is messing me up. I don't. It should be bigger. Yeah. What did I do wrong? Does font size not apply? Except to the actual, this guy. So maybe here I want to call this title. I want to have a style of styles dot row title. And then here I would have a row title. And there we go. And maybe I have a I don't know, row percent. I don't know if I need the word row there. I need a colon there. And here I want this to have a style of row styles dot row percent. So that's big. Okay. And font weight. Can I get 100? Okay. That's something. Okay. Let's try to make this bar, because that is actually within our grasp as well. Okay, so in this bar, what I'm going to do is create a view that has a background color, and then create another view inside of it. I'm going to set the inner view's width equal to the percentage. So I need here a view that's like the outer view. So this would be the yeah. Oh, you remember that. Style here is equal to what do you call it? Styles dot. ChatGPT called it a track. That's like the container? Would you call that? I can almost imagine it's track, container, and track. Then the inner view is going to have a styles equal to style equal to styles dot. I want to call this like progress. Yeah. So then down here, I can create, or the two things called track and progress. Okay, so the essence here is that the track needs to have a background. Well, let's give it a width of, don't I have to put this in parentheses? Yeah. And I need to put the color here, not the color, this would be the background color. So the background color is some color that's probably some grayish color, right? And it needs a height of something. Hang on, why isn't that showing up? I have a track. Track is the outer thing. It should have a width. I've given it a height. Height doesn't have to be in quotes. Um, is it, where did I put it? That's a row, and it should be stacking on top of it. Those are stacking vertically, and this track. For the label, but there's nothing there. So it's not because this is empty, is it? Hang on. So why does that fit? It's 100%. Is it not 100% of its parent? It's the thing that it's inside. This guy. Is it because I don't have any styles on this, the container? I'm gonna put something on that. If I say display flex, does that change anything? And justify content. This flex 1 doesn't do something, does it? So that makes it spread out, yeah. Which I don't think that's really what I want. I do think I would like some padding here, though. Okay, I must be thinking about this wrong. That thing shows up when I put a width in the inner thing, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted this to, basically this is what I wanted. I want this to be a different color, a different background color, something fun, right? Like red, comma. I did want this to have a border radius too. I wanted this to also have a border radius. This. Wait, does 100% not work? Yes. Okay, putting width 100% broke it. That's on me. So now I've got my background thing, which this is probably too dark. It should be something a lot lighter, right? That's a little bit harder to see. Okay, there's C's. And then here, this should have a width. Does this work? Okay, this is where we actually do the math. Do we have to know the width, the full width, and then do the math? Let's try it. I think because we're doing math code here, I've got to do this thing where my styles are an array of things, which needs to go inside the curlies. And I want to say that the width here, I think this is right. I'm setting the width here, and then I'm also adding that onto these other styles. And I would like this width to be some number. So close to getting this. I mean, then really I want this to be something like my percentage. Which is props. Okay. Okay. As we're wrapping up, I'll figure out what I'm doing wrong here. I wanted to show you what most people would do is they would destructure these props instead of like this, just so you don't have to keep repeating props. If you put in your curlies here, then we can say, get out the three things that we want, which is title, label, and percent. We're just going to go ahead and just take those out of the properties object so that down here we don't have to say props.title, we just say title. Don't have to say props.percentage, we just say it. And like so. Label. And hopefully I still have the same non-working version I had before. Do you see how what you're doing here is pulling those three things out because you know those are the things you want. You're pulling them out of a thing that is of this type, so the TypeScript compiler knows they're going to be there. I'm sorry that I'm missing some important step to make this track. Something about doing width is weird. So I'll look into this and get back to you. Y'all keep working on your UIs. And I will see you guys on the Wednesday. All right, so offline I figured out what I was doing wrong, and I was so close. So I have added a couple more of these progress bars, but what I wanted to point out is my error, and the big fix here is that on this track I need to give it a flex direction of row, and by putting that in a row, now the inner track actually has space to lay out instead of being, I guess, being blocked out by being in a column. So by adding flex direction row, you can see that the track is now the width that we would like. Specifically here, I've set this width to be the percentage, but note that in this backticked computed value, this is the percentage with the percent sign. So this will say 68.4% or whatever. And this then is added on to the styles that we've defined in the progress bar. So this progress bar, this progress guy right here is the one that is getting the greater width based on the percent. So that's what I missed was flex direction row, and I want to make sure that y'all got that update.